Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
What's up? This is the most must-see WWE superstar of all time and his lovely, gorgeous wife, Marie. And you are going in Smackdown Live.
Hey, this is Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke watching Going In the Raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, and available wherever podcasts can be found.
Yeah.
Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notify bell next to it. Make sure you always get your new Going In Raw notifications. We're also available on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. Man, I created probably my favorite thumbnail of all time with Larson's Shoe Creation Lab.
Yeah, man, that was top-notch stuff, I'll tell you what.
So
the thumbnail, not so much my shoe creation skills.
No, man, I thought it was great. So we went into 2K20. Larson designed me 3 solid shoes for my slow Wolfpack NBA team. That's available at the $5 Patreon level, as well as the Mandalorian review from this week. We had a really good discussion on what the word buried actually means in pro wrestling. We're going to do an Ask Steve and Larson today.
We defined it.
We defined it. We did the impossible. We made possible the impossible.
Hey, Adam Mayhem's here. How's it going,
Adam Mayhem's here. And then
how's it going, former champ?
I think we did one more bonus episode. I mean, it's 4 days. There should have been 4 of them.
What are we doing Wednesday? That was Mandalorian. Tuesday.
We did the term buried.
And what was Monday?
We did something. Oh, 1 year after Becky Lynch's bloody nose thing.
That's right.
So that was a good one, too. So, yeah, check all that stuff out. We got lots of bonus content there on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steve and Larson.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, and then yesterday we had a new patron, Bastard Ox. Wow. I'm the Bastard Ox.
Good name.
So that's cool. So anyways, yeah. Oh, by the way, if you're watching this live, as you could tell, we already had one botch.
Yeah.
So this will be going up for the patrons afterwards. And then, yeah, if you're watching live, we've had internet issues all night. This is the way it's been lately. I don't know what the deal is.
We streamed for more like an hour.
I know. So anyways, if that
Wait,
happens,
hold on. Stop the news.
That happens, nothing we can do about it.
Adam Mayhem, Vancouver is lovely. I'm getting married next month.
Oh, that's a disaster.
Congratulations.
What an
Champ.
absolute disaster. I'm joking. Congratulations, Adam Mayhem. That's terrific. Good job. Are we invited? Are we invited to that?
I would think at least I am. I'm probably paying for part of this wedding.
Vancouver, probably. Oh, my goodness.
Gosh.
Anyways, so SmackDown on Fox.
Can we just talk about Adam Mayhem's wedding instead of SmackDown?
It's sort of a toss-up. They're both going to be crap. Yeah, SmackDown was, again, man, like, does Bruce Pritchard just think that he can coast? What's the deal with that? That we're building to,
Bruce Pritchard thinks he can coast probably as long as he tells Vince yes.
Right? Like, this is embarrassing. Like, the creative has been embarrassingly...
2 weeks in a row has been garbage.
Okay, so I won't necessarily call it garbage.
Last week was garbage.
Last week was pure garbage.
This had some garbage in it.
But they did the thing where something was so bad last week that this week they doubled down on it. So last week we had that awful Baron Corbin barking dog thing. Oh, people hated it legitimately. Let's double down on it. And so they had a guy come out in like a dog costume, like a mascot dog thing.
Well, there was that, and then also they changed the Titantron for Roman. Instead of having his dog do the high-pitched bark, they had a new animated Chihuahua in Roman gear and with the high-pitched bark.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's doubling down.
Yeah, man.
And it's ridiculous.
It's pretty bad. There were some decent moments tonight, although it's obvious that this invasion thing, I mean, you got to let it go if you're going to enjoy it. Yeah, and that's to be honest, that's a lot with WWE. If you're going to enjoy, if you're going to appreciate the performances of some of these performers, you got to let go of some of the glaring, gaping logic holes. What are they going to do with Team NXT on the men's side? Adam Cole doesn't have a match, so it's obvious that he's probably going to be captaining Team NXT. But the majority of, like, everybody else in his faction, they all have matches.
Yeah.
Finn Balor, Matt Riddle, they have matches. I'm sorry. At TakeOver.
Yeah.
At TakeOver, sorry. So everybody that he's fighting in this War Games match, which is their yearly brutal physical bout.
I know. Now he's going to have to partner up with them the next day, probably.
A blood feud. When are they going to discuss, or when are they going to announce what this men's Team NXT thing is going to be?
I don't know. They got to get to it, though. Maybe they're doing the thing where, but then there's no time.
It's
like
just different
they're waiting for War Games to play out, and then like on the kickoff show for Survivor Series, you're going to have one segment where it'd be like, all right, I know we went to war yesterday, but hey, we're NXT, yeah. So let's team up and show main roster who's the boss.
I mean, you even saw that a little bit tonight, where Shayna shows up and she has everybody that she's going to be fighting. Like they didn't have. There was no Io Shirai. There was no Bianca Belair.
No Candice LeRae.
And there was no there's no Candice, but she's on the other team.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Shayna's team, and
sorry.
obviously no Kaylee Ray.
Yeah.
But everybody else, like including Dakota Kai, who's been kicked off, who didn't make the cut.
Yeah.
But she's still obviously aligning with the good guys.
Mm-hmm.
They all show up to have Shayna's back. We are all NXT, but at the same time, they're going to be in the first War Games match all against each other.
I know, against Shayna
And her squad. So you got to kind of throw that out the window.
It seemed like the first night of the NXT invasion, they had it kind of right. Where you had Ciampa on one side of the ring and Adam Cole on the other side of the ring to close the show. And while Adam Cole had just beat Daniel Bryan, he was on cloud nine. He just had Triple H's arm around him.
Yeah, sure.
He was ecstatic the whole time. Yeah, Ciampa's out there.
Yeah.
But what's he focusing on?
Yeah, Ciampa's looking at the title.
He's focusing on that belt.
Yeah.
You can kind of have it both ways if you're subtle about it. In that instance, it was handled correctly. I don't feel like the way they stage things, particularly with the women's stuff, having all the faces back up Shayna, is exactly how it probably should have played out.
Yeah.
Like, and I guess to the extent they didn't hammer home, I didn't feel like, maybe I'm wrong, they're here to back up Shayna.
Mm-hmm.
It could be seen as this kind of a coincidental thing. Shayna's there to stir the pot a little bit for her match against Bayley, whereas the prospective Team NXT for the women's match is out there to stir stuff up with Sasha.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess in that sense, they didn't actually really hammer home, oh, we're here to back up Shayna, but you can imply that based on the sequence of events.
I think that the thing is, and maybe I could be speculating far too much, and that's totally fair because I do that sometimes. But it's not difficult to think that Triple H is building his pay-per-view because he knows damn well that with Vince, things will change at the very last minute. He could have built this War Games thing to be like, hey, during the lead up, incorporate what this Team NXT thing is going to be. Mm-hmm. He's clever enough and he's creative enough to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. But at least, I mean, it's because to me anyways, as a watcher of both shows, of main roster product and NXT, there is that elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Like, you need to be addressing this
What
stuff.
if on NXT last week, Triple H had gathered Adam Cole, Ciampa, Riddle, Keith Lee, and tossed another heel in there so Adam Cole's not the lone heel in the room. And they're in the boardroom in the Performance Center, and he's like, all right, I know you guys got War Games coming up, but listen, I need you guys to be on the same page on Sunday.
Yeah.
You can go tear each other apart on Saturday. Save a little bit, though. Sunday. Need all of you.
No, that's exactly what should be happening.
Because that can play into the story of War Games,
you have
too.
tension there. You've got like, man, we're on the same team, but we're also in a blood feud. This is going to get messier. It plays into it. You're absolutely correct. That'd be like perfect.
Problem is, probably Vince hasn't decided who he wants on Team
NXT
NXT for Survivor Series.
He doesn't know.
Give me Kona Reeves.
Yeah.
Dan Matha.
And it's the same thing. Like this week on SmackDown.
Give me Bo Dallas.
Give me Neville.
Where's that Richie Steamboat kid?
Where's Neville? But there was a lot of beyond that. There was just a lot of like sort of treading water.
Well, that's what WWE product is these days. So we had a really good tag team match for the tag titles. That was really good.
That was a really good match.
The end segment with Daniel Bryan.
That was good.
It was pretty good.
We got the new. Oh, we should mention this because it's in the title.
Oh yeah,
the new Universal title.
You can take a guess what it looks like. It's on SmackDown now.
It's blue.
It's blue instead of red.
It's a darker blue. It's not like.
It's not bright royal blue.
It's not as bright as the red Universal one, which is like near color unsafe.
Nah, it had a little. It wasn't that bright.
It was bad.
It wasn't that bright.
I don't think it's worth like whining about to ruin a match at SummerSlam.
Definitely
that 1 year.
not.
But it was an ugly ass title.
Yeah, you
This
get it out of
ain't
your
much
system
better.
once, and then that's that.
This ain't much better.
Whatever the blue equivalent was of that red, maybe dial it back on the tint towards the darker side, maybe 10%, and that's what you got.
You know how much people would have marked out if they legacy that shit, bring like a freaking the Winged Eagle back? Like, come on, man. Make something cool. Make something different. Do
That's
something
expecting
new.
too much of WWE, man.
Be new and be old at the same time.
That's expecting too much.
Or like give the Fiend
Everything
his
has got to
own
be
title.
very formulaic, generic, fit into this corporate strategy they have of synergy across all brands in terms of the belts looking equally bland across all brands.
Put Cletus on the title.
There you go.
It's a good looking look. The design is a good looking title.
Yeah,
It's
it's fine.
We already have one of them, and it's the
Exactly.
best one. And it's one that's over on Raw. It's on Brock.
Yeah.
So like, just come up with a different.
It'd be cool
one.
if they had Cletus on there as like a little animatronic thing, but it's not full on
tight.
3D.
Yeah,
It's
that'd be
just
cool.
moving within the confines kind of the belt. That'd be cool.
Like he's existentially trying to get out of there.
Kind of.
Get me out of here.
Kind of, yeah.
No, Cletus, stay here.
Yeah.
So yeah, just another kind of a bland
Kind of throwaway
SmackDown.
show. And then they announced one match for next week, which is not really something anybody really wants to see, I think. It's
6-man tag.
Reigns, Ali, Gable taking on Corbin, and Rude and Ziggler. Still have no idea why they're a thing now. Anyways, let's get to the show. Because it kicked off in basically the worst way possible. Same way things kicked off last week.
Yeah.
More Baron Corbin talking.
Yeah. And this time he's on the hand cart thing where people are bringing
Him
in.
down the ring because he's King Corbin.
Yeah, so Corbin talks. So the entirety between him talking and the first match, that got us to the first half hour.
Yeah, he was 12 minutes of him talking, him and Rude and Ziggler.
Yeah.
That was the first 12 minutes of the show. So they're going on and on about this match coming up, which would be next, where Dolph and Bob Roode could replace Mustafa Ali and Chad Gable on Team SmackDown for the Survivor Series traditional type match. They're all questioning Roman Reigns' leadership in allowing this NXT invasion to happen in the first place. Kind of a lame motivation to go after Roman.
Yeah, sure.
And then especially when you got someone like Baron Corbin leading the charge.
Yeah.
Like, who's going to follow that guy?
Yeah, I know, exactly.
I'll
tell you who. Bob Roode and Dolph Ziggler.
The sad state of affairs, the two of them. And so at the end of which, they're all talking. It's all kind of saying the same stuff. Baron calls down Reigns, says, "Come to the ring." And cue Reigns' music, and then you get the dude in the dog mascot costume.
Which, like, we thought could have been somebody, like, could have been Roman, could have been somebody like,
Yeah.
like that one time, like, Cedric Alexander, like, he was like a masked wrestler or something, remember? It was
yeah,
like,
he was a janitor with a mask on.
he was the janitor with a mask on, yeah. I
Yeah.
wanted to say janitor, but I was like, right, they really put a mask on a janitor guy? That's weird. Yeah, but it was just nobody. What if it was Cedric in that mask, and at the very last minute, they're like, hey, we're not going to do the Cedric thing. We're not going to do that. So just have him go off into the crowd and walk away.
And there's opportunity there.
And he's
fun.
like, oh, man. Anyways, so yeah.
So I mentioned the Chihuahua graphics on the Titantron, and then Baron is like, hey, kneel before me. Mascot does. Blech.
Yeah.
After the commercial break, we got the match. Dolph and Bob Roode taking on Mustafa Ali and Chad Gable. This is fun enough, especially early on. Chad Gable is like wrestling circles around Bob Roode.
Yeah, anytime you get Chad Gable and Mustafa
he was doing
Ali
some
in
great
there,
stuff.
that's
And
really
then
good stuff.
Roode turns the tables just by punching him in the face.
Mustafa Ali had just the most amazing shade of blue on his ring gear.
Amazing.
It was like the perfect mixture
It's
of
the
like
perfect
blue and teal and
perfect.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Perfect.
He's got his name back too. That happened
Yeah,
earlier this week.
it did.
It changed. He mentioned on Twitter, and then on the rosters page,
It changed
and then
officially.
Today, it was official because it was on TV, so it was canon.
Yeah. And so Roode comes in. He knocks Ali off the apron to the announce table. Roman comes down now to the ring. And then they go to commercial. But why go into commercial when actually stakes have been raised?
Yeah. The great thing is we come back from commercial, and like nothing has happened. Like the dog mascot, right before commercial went to break, I think.
Yeah,
just left through the
crowd.
audience.
Yeah.
And Corbin, when we come back from commercial, as opposed to something intriguing happening, Corbin is standing sort of on one side of the ring, and then about 25 feet away, or 20 feet
20 feet away, you got Reigns, yeah.
You got Reigns, and they're just sort of talking at each other. seemingly like too far away for them to actually understand what the other person
I guess
is
you'd
saying.
assume talking trash.
Right.
So Ali's in the ring against both Dolph and Rude. He tosses Dolph out of the ring. Rude goes into the ring post. Ali goes for the tag, but Dolph intercepts him, hits a Famerster. That gets him a 2 count. So Dolph sets up for the finish, super kick.
Yeah.
Instead, he super kick from Ali. Gable gets up. Oh, he got pulled from the corner earlier. Gable gets up, gets to his corner. Ali gets the hot tag. Gable clears house. There's a great bit where he does like a Pele kick to Dolph. And as soon as he's rolling over, he grabs Dolph's ankle right into an ankle lock. It was amazing.
That was good.
Bob Roode comes in to break it up. And then Bob Roode starts calling for Corbin's scepter, which I don't know if Bob Roode is aware of this. This is not a no DQ bout. If he were to use scepter, he would be disqualified, and they would not go on to Survivor Series.
It's his heel
doesn't make
instincts
sense
coming in.
It just doesn't make sense. If you want to win, anyways, Corbin's like, oh, all right. He gets a drive-by from Reigns.
Yeah, that was actually kind of cool because Reigns just came from flying out of frame and into it. He had some pretty good air on that thing, too.
And Rude gets out of the ring. He drives Reigns into the announce table. He turns around. Ali takes him out with a suicide dive. And then Baron runs towards Ali with a clothesline, I think. Ali ducks. Reigns spears Corbin back in the ring. Gable hits that rolling German suplex, Chaos Theory, I believe it's called. Mustafa Ali follows with a 450 to get the pin on Dolph. Ali, Gable, they're going to Survivor
They
Series.
stay on that Team Survivor Series for now.
Yes.
But next week it was announced later on the show, there's a 6-man tag match.
Yeah.
I wonder if their spots are going to be potentially open at that point as well.
I hope not.
Who knows? I mean, I like Rude and Dolph. I don't really care who's in that match.
Yeah, they're fine, but I feel like Ali and Gable benefit more from being in that
Yeah,
match.
sure.
I mean, I kind of feel like Dolph, especially, his spot, it's where it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to see Rude elevated up the card. However, that's not going to happen while he's aligned with Dolph.
I just like seeing Mustafa Ali and Chad Gable wrestle. I think they're great. So that's kind of what I care about.
That we can agree on,
But
Steve.
now that we've said that, they're probably going to kick
Probably
off
they'll
that
find
team
some way to make us want to watch
That's
Survivor
gonna-
Series just a little bit
That
less.
match is going to end in a scrub, and then it's going to be decided in the kickoff show.
Probably.
Taking valuable minutes away from probably the Cruiserweight matchup, the rematch between Leo Rush and Angel Garza.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how it's going to go
Yeah.
down. That's going to be a 7-minute WWE style match.
Rust Hold Fest.
Rust Hold Fest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, Steve, before we continue,
Yeah, let's do this here.
here's the word from the sponsor of today's show, Mack Weldon. Mack Weldon is a premium men's essentials brand that believes in smart design, premium fabrics, and a simple shopping experience.
That's right. Mack Weldon's underwear, socks, shirts, shorts, hoodies, and sweatpants will be the most comfortable you will ever wear. And if they're not, let them know you didn't like it, and they'll still offer you a refund, no questions asked.
Yeah, I actually got my Mack Weldon Pima shirt on right now. It's nice. It's comfy. It's got the style I need to wear here in the office. Obviously, comfort I demand when I'm relaxing at home. I was doing that earlier. And the performance I require when it's time to toss around some weight at the gym. I did go to the gym earlier.
All right.
But however, I have changed and showered since then. So I have not been wearing the same shirt all day.
But you could have.
I could have
could've.
comfortably and effectively.
Right. I appreciate that you didn't come in stink of stinks, because we'd have Brussels sprouts from earlier that you ordered and your stench.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, man, I really dig the underwear I got from Mack Weldon. The whole ordering process was a breeze, and everything was shipped directly to my door. And right now, friendos can get 20% off their first order by going to MackWeldon.com and using promo code GOINGINRAW.
Again, that's 20% off your first order by going to MackWeldon.com and using promo code GOINGINRAW, all one word. Thanks to Mack Weldon for sponsoring today's show, and you're really helping out Going In Raw by going to MackWeldon.com and using that promo code Going In Raw, all one word.
That's right.
Next, we had a Daniel Bryan, Bray Wyatt recap. Of course, Bray, the Fiend, attacked Daniel Bryan last week. Saw that again. After that, Firefly Funhouse starts on a tight shot of Universal title that has existed. Kind of zooms out. Bray's like, something's not right. He spins like Nick Aldis in the Retromania commercial. And now he's a magician. And he casts a spell on the Universal title. Poof. Now the strap, instead of red, is blue.
Do you want a challenge for the NWA title, buddy?
I'm going retro.
I'm going retro.
And then he says, later tonight, Miz TV, my favorite show. He's really looking forward to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got something up his sleeve.
He sure does.
He sure does. After that, we see Corbin, Rude, and Dolph backstage. They're all arguing, and Corbin just says, I'll fix it. And Rude and Ziggler run off.
Boy.
Oh, no, sorry. Corbin goes off.
Is Corbin like the best backstage politicker or what? What's going on here?
He's got to be. This is like Hogan level of politicking
really
skills
is.
for him to constantly be like the focus of the show.
I know. And it's been that way for a year, and it necessitated the McMahon shakeup. And here we are literally a year later, and it's the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, 11 months on. Almost
And yet,
to the day.
And yet, within those past 12 months, or wait, was that before then? I was going to say they've struck like, what, $2 billion TV deals.
Yeah, I know. Boggles the mind, man.
Yeah,
I guess there is that kind of premium on live sports content.
So then we had Braun Strowman come out, and waiting for him is the B team and Drew Gulak. Now,
Yeah.
I must have missed this. Did they mention, was a match actually supposed to take
No,
place
but that's
here?
the inference because they had a lower third for Drew and the B team.
And Lil Nate was out there.
Yeah, there's
so they had a
out
ref
there.
out there.
But Drew's talking, and he says, the B team is out here because unlike you, they want to learn something from me.
Drew shaved his head, too.
Yeah.
He looked way different, by the way, without hair.
He looked quite a bit different, yeah. And he says, well, if you would listen to me, he said, and once I replace you on Team SmackDown for Survivor Series, here's what's going to happen. He throws the Tron. There's a still of him, and it says Drew is the saves Team SmackDown or something. Survivor Series. So he starts berating Braun, putting his finger in his face. Braun grabs finger. B team attack.
He's been watching some NXT, some Pete Dunne matches. Yeah,
learn how to do this to make the snap with his arms when it hits the sides. Of course, Braun fights them all off, culminating in a power slam on Curtis Axel. No match happened. End scene.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so
I guess the upside is we don't get a 3-on-1 squash match where Braun wins over Drew and the B team. That's a positive.
Also a positive, Drew Gulak is on TV, and he makes the most of every opportunity given, and I think he'll be okay. It's just, once again, he has to go from being a guy who was pretty dominant and serious and really good on 205, being the sort of General Zod type, calling himself the best submission expert in WWE, not just 205, but WWE. And he has fallen all the way back down. But he is in a thing with Braun Strowman.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Oh, I don't know. I mean,
I don't have a lot of confidence.
I want to be optimistic, but I'm given no reason to be. After that, backstage.
I'm always positive when I see the New Day.
Absolutely. So they're about to come out for their tag title defense against the Revival. They get a promo. Big E shouts out some Philadelphia sports, including the Eagles besting the Patriots in the Super Bowl a couple years back, which really stung Kofi because he's a Patriots fan.
Yeah, man. I'm with the former WWE champion, man. That's our team.
I'm with Big E. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Boo earns.
And then Kofi says, Xavier Woods might not be here with us. Of course, he's recuperating from Achilles surgery. He says, but he's always right here and right here.
More importantly, he's on that Rooster Teeth stream,
chopping people,
raising $1 million for charity, for Extra Life,
chopping people,
and chopping the crap out of people.
Yeah.
That's right.
So Big E proceeds to do their entrance, and we go to commercial.
It's always a delight when you get to see that entrance when they do it live, when they show them do it.
I know,
it's great.
It's great. Come back from commercial. Daniel Bryan's walking backstage. He's approached by Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura. They continue making their pitch. Sami demands an answer tonight, essentially because Daniel Bryan's got a Fiend problem.
Yeah.
And they say, if you want to best the Fiend, or heck, just survive, you need us.
Yeah.
Bryan explains to him, or asks, well, if you have my back,
where the heck were you?
Why'd you run off when the Fiend attacked last week?
Bolted, you bastard.
And Sami's like, well, I knew you were going to ask that. I was running to get Nakamura. I was trying to do this. I was trying to do that. And Daniel Bryan interrupts and says, here, I don't need your help. I'm not joining your group. But I know someone that you could use.
Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman.
And Sami starts running him down. He's like, Braun Strowman. He's like, no, man. Bryan walks away. And meanwhile, Sami's shouting at him down the hallway. We're intellectuals. We are artists. He is just strong. And that's all he has. He's got strength and power. And then he backs up and he says, oh, my God, Braun, you were standing right there. You're so big and you're so quiet. How are you so quiet when you're so big? It was like the Drax thing.
It was pretty funny.
It was good. And then so he starts to sort of move him and Shinsuke away. But Shinsuke he's not batting an eye, man. He's looking at him. He's like, man, I want to Kinshasa your head off, big man.
It was great.
So maybe that's a match we'll get to see. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. How often do they set things up that seem intriguing and then just don't do anything about it?
I mean, we're literally talking about this entire thing. Like Daniel Bryan versus Shinsuke. Where's that? Shinsuke versus Braun Strowman. We're going to get that? No, probably not.
No. Next, New Day versus Revival rematch. The tag titles. Of course, New Day just won them a couple weeks back. Or last week, actually. Early on, Revival up the upper hand on Kofi. He was isolated for a good portion of the match. At one point, he jumps for a hot tag, try to get to Big E. Dash catches him, hits him with a power slam. I mean, Kofi should stop jumping when there's other people in his way. This is the second time to I want to say disastrous effect this time, but previously when he leapt towards Brock, didn't work out for him.
Bad move.
Is this going to be a story beat, a la Corbin's being susceptible to roll up?
It could be if Kofi makes it that. I mean, I don't think anybody. I even think maybe Corbin's probably back there. Like, man, I need to add some dimension to my character. How about my Achilles heel is, getting rolled up? And so when they're going over the match, he's like, hey, why didn't you beat me with a roll up?
Just roll me up.
That's my thing.
It's like if people can just beat me.
Yeah. And then Vince is like, I love you so much. You get whatever you
You're
want.
so handsome. You're
so
so
handsome.
smart.
You're so smart.
You're so tall. Tall and funny.
You had money already. You don't need me. You're in the NFL. You had money.
That shows you have ambition. I like ambition.
You came into NXT with your brass rings and your giant balls
And your golden gloves.
I love you.
They keep on saying
so much.
She's like, what, 3-time Golden Glove champion?
I love it. See, a lot of people that coming through WWE were Golden Gloves. Wasn't Mark Merrow one too?
That's what they said, yeah.
There's two people.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a bunch more though.
Probably.
Yeah. Like, what does it take to win Golden Gloves?
Knowing how to box. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
But how often do they have Golden Gloves?
I would think at least annually.
Well, see, a lot more. I think
Semi-annually.
I gotta look. I'll look it up after the show.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Anyways, after that power slam, SmackDown goes to commercial. Steve, let's take inspiration.
Oh, I think it's a great idea. Let's do that too.
Yeah.
Here we go. Before we continue, here's a word from the sponsor of today's show, Audible. Audible has the world's largest selection of audiobooks and audio entertainment, including Audible Originals, which are stories created exclusively for audio, including documentaries, exclusive audiobooks, and scripted shows that you can't hear anywhere else.
Thanks to the super convenient Audible app, you can listen anytime, anywhere, on any device, mobile, Alexa-enabled, Bluetooth, and more. You can listen at the gym, in your car on the way to work, while you're out shopping. Audible keeps you informed, inspired, entertained. You'll finish more stories when you listen with Audible and always be a part of the conversation.
And now, Audible members get more than ever before. Every month, you can choose one audiobook regardless of price, as well as 2 Audible Originals from a fresh selection. Members can stay motivated and inspired with unlimited access to exclusive guided fitness and meditation programs, and members can sign up for free updates from the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and Washington Post delivered daily to the app.
Audible offers a great selection of pro wrestling-themed audiobooks, including Jim Ross's Slobber Knocker and Chris Charlton's Eggshells, Pro Wrestling at the Tokyo Dome. And there's even the new Audible original, The 64th Man, starring John Cena, dropped yesterday.
That's right. You don't have to see him because it's an Audible.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Audible members can easily exchange any title they don't love at any time, and members get to keep their library of listens forever, even if they cancel. And right now, friendos can start listening with a 30-day Audible trial. Choose one audiobook and 2 Audible originals absolutely free. Visit audible.com/goinginraw, that's all one word, or text goinginraw, again, all one word, to 500-500.
Again, get a 30-day Audible trial by going to audible.com/goinginraw or by texting goinginraw, all one word, to 500-500. Thanks to Audible for sponsoring today's show, and you're really helping out Going In Raw by going to audible.com/goinginraw or texting Going In Raw to 500-500.
So we're back from commercial. Dash gets the tag. Dawson, they're keeping Kofi isolated. Dawson goes for a top rope elbow drop. Kofi evades, gets the tag to Big E. Big E comes in, belly to bellies for Dawson. splash. Oh, wait, do I have Dash in here? Oh, they both got the tags in. Sorry. The Dash. He goes for the splash. Dash gets his knees up. Dawson tags in. He ends up eating the Uranagi in the corner.
Ooh, Epico just dropped a $10 super chat on us.
Hi, Epico.
I think that's his way of saying he's in danger.
I hope you're fine.
He's like, there's no message here. He's just like, uh-oh, I'm in a trunk somewhere in Florida.
It's his like SOS.
It is,
yes.
Exactly.
So Dash tags himself in. Big E goes for his apron spear, but Wilder ends up hitting a tornado DDT instead. Kofi is back in. He sends the Revival from the ring, follows with that awesome trust fall he does.
No, it's great.
It's great. New Day set up for Midnight Hour on Dawson. Dash is in there to break it up. Dawson hits a DDT on Big E. That gets him a 2 count. Revival go for a double draping DDT. Shout out Randall Orton. Big E sends him out of the ring with kind of like a Northern Light suplex on both of them. Kofi goes for a tope. He's caught, and he is rammed with great force into the ring post. And then the Revival hit a double belly to back suplex on Big E, kind of like on the corner of the announce table. Mm-hmm. Both those spots look like they hurt. Kofi's back in. Revival's back in. They hit Shatter Machine. Sorry, Big E's back in. Yeah. Revival hits Shatter Machine on him. Kofi breaks up the pin. And then they're all selling. And then Undisputed Era come out. They lay out everybody.
Yeah.
Just total eliminations all over the place. Mm-hmm. Super kicks all over the place.
Flying knees.
Jumping knees all over the place.
Yeah.
And that's Undisputed. SmackDown locker room empties out. Undisputed Era runs out the crowd. It's talking crap. Adam Cole saying, we run WWE.
Yeah.
And that's Undisputed.
So, yeah, still undetermined as to whom exactly. I mean, there's a tag match, and, of course, Undisputed Era, Redragon, they got their licks in on their opponents, or on a couple of their opponents anyways. So, yeah, we'll see how that all plays out. I'm still anxious to see how they're going to kayfabe this. But you're probably right. Like, they're probably going to do something either in the kickoff. Because there's one more episode. I mean,
each show left, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It's not a whole lot of time.
Not a whole lot of time.
Maybe they'll draw straws in the NXT locker room.
I appreciate, though, that Triple H is just like, look, I'm doing my show, and I'm going to get this as heated as possible because it's War Games. That's what I care about. And Vince, whatever you tell me, whatever team you figure out you want for NXT, then I will figure it out when I figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
So anyways, that's all you can do. Heavy Machinery was up next with a squash match against Kip Stevens and Kevin Tibbs. Time to go to the local competitor Twitter.
Yeah. Well, both
account.
of them are going by their actual wrestling names because Kip's, unless they change tights, because Kip, I assume Kip had his name Kip in a la the Oasis logo on his trunks, and Tibbs had his name down the side of his trunks. Sorry, his tights.
Here we go. Kip/Evil Kip/Francis Kipling Stevens is currently one half of the Breakfast Club with CPA, somebody named CPA, Estranged CPA, Real Person Nick, Suburban Badass. This year, Kip appeared for numerous promotions, including VPW, Wrestle Pro, Blitzkrieg Pro, and Creative Pro. I've heard of 2 of those. Mm-hmm. Kevin Tibbs, the current VP Wrestling champion, was on the September 10th episode of SmackDown, where he was thrown over the barricade by Eric Rowan onto Roman Reigns and a bunch of security guards when they brawled. However, Kevin had another WWE match on the April 17th, 2018 205 episode, where he teamed with Vinny Scalise/VSK as Kevin D. Tiberius against Jack Gallagher and Brian Kendrick. So whenever they're in the Philly area, I guess they call them up.
Interesting.
VP Wrestling. Victory Pro Wrestling from Long Island.
Oh, Long Island.
Or from Long Island.
Gotcha. Anyways, squash match. Heavy Machinery dominated throughout. Mm-hmm. They got the win with the compactor. Next, Sasha and Bayley backstage for the interview. Bayley says after taking out Becky on Raw, Shayna on NXT, she won't be an afterthought anymore.
Nope.
People got to start thinking about her, not taking her eyes off her when she's in the ring. She says, right now, I don't wrestle for anybody other than me. I don't wrestle for the fans. Don't wrestle for anybody else except for Bayley.
Well, really, she wrestles for WWE.
Yeah.
Bayley's not paying her.
Contract.
Bayley's paycheck. Like that doesn't make
sense.
She pays.
Well, unless she was the sole proprietor of a corporation, but then she like paid herself like an employee.
That's a good point. Yeah, maybe that's what she.
In which case, it would be like Bailey,
LLC Incorporated.
Yeah, something like that. S Corp.
S Corp.
And then
Bailey S Corp.
Paying herself as she gave herself a job title and pay herself from that.
Right, withholdings and all that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Anyways, after that,
I guess she could pay herself that way.
Nikki Cross versus Bailey.
Yeah.
And it was actually a pretty cool match, actually.
Yeah, Shayna showed up immediately. Basically, I think like 2 moves happened. Shayna shows up. Bailey gets out of there. She runs through the crowd, jumps to the barricade, and boof, there's Team Rhea. They swapped out Candice for Dakota Kai, but otherwise it's Team Rhea.
Right, where was Candice?
I don't know. In chat, they were speculating that she was hanging out with her husband because he's
probably. I guarantee there was an NXT house show tonight. Let's see.
Probably.
Hashtag what? Fort. What is it? Fort Largo, something like that.
Was Largo and Fort Myers.
Fort Myers just combined.
Yeah. Myers Largo. That sounds like a future jobber or local enhancement talent.
NXT. Oh, Citrus Springs.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see here. 9 hours. Citrus Springs tonight. Let's see here. Deanna Parazzo, Xia Li. Looks like
one of her and
Chelsea Green.
One of her, Candice and Io had a match or something because Io wasn't there. Anyway, so Team Rhea shows up behind Bailey. Rhea just like body slams over the barricade. It was pretty great.
Dexter Lumis. Oh, I think he took on that. No, never mind. That's not the tall guy.
And then Shayna's in the ring still. Sasha runs in and lays her out. NXT and SmackDown women, because like Carmella, Dana Brooke, a bunch of others come out. They all start brawling in the ring. NXT talents go ringside. Sasha grabs the mic and says, 4 of us, 4 of you, let's have a match right now.
Matt Riddle is there.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
We come, then we get Sasha, Nikki Cross, Carmella, Dana Brooke taking on Rhea Ripley, Tegan Nox, Dakota Kai, and Mia Yim.
Yeah.
It was fun. There was a great sequence, especially between Sasha and Rhea, where they're doing some chain wrestling. That was great.
I want to see that singles match, man. That should be a freaking Survivor Series match. Just Rhea versus Sasha. Holy,
great.
Rhea was brass rings. She was grabbing those brass rings left and right tonight.
Yeah.
Preening for the camera. She's a star, man.
Yeah, man.
She's a star.
What, she's 23, something like that? 24?
Yeah, she's young.
The end of that sequence, Sasha tries to put Rhea in the bank statement. Rhea escapes. Both teams come in. There's a face-off.
Who's that guy? What, Cal's back there? What the heck?
I have no idea who that is. A face-off. We go to commercial. We come back. Nikki hits a fun splash on Rhea. Rhea was selling, too. She was throwing her body around all over the place. I don't know who that is.
Nick Ogarelli.
I still don't know who that is. Nikki hits a fun splash on Rhea. Dakota tags herself in. Nikki hits a belly to back on her. Tegan Nox breaks that up with the shiniest wizard. Dakota Kai goes for a suplex, standard suplex. Nikki instead hits her finish, the spinning neck breaker for the win. After the bell, huge brawl. NXT women, SmackDown women just brawling, and then Fire and Desire run in to kind of make the save.
Yeah.
NXT women leave. SmackDown
so,
stand
like,
tall.
I'm assuming because Nikki got the pin, WWE logic dictates she's on the team. Like,
Yeah,
Sasha immediately was like, "Oh, I'm cool with you now."
I know.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Like, why not just have the match and afterwards?
Who's that guy?
I have no idea.
Because he took on Babatunde.
I have no idea who that guy is.
I'm telling you, we got to catch some of these NXT, like, the Florida Loop shows.
Yeah, I know.
What are they called? The Coconut Loop?
Something like that.
So, yeah. After that, we had the main event segment, Miz TV.
Yeah.
With Daniel Bryan. Miz comes out in a nice suit, but those pants were, like, painted on.
That, and then the texture or the pattern of his suit was causing, like, a moire pattern.
That's a moire pattern. Yeah.
So it looked like, you know, those lenticular baseball cards, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where they have that kind of texture to it. Depending how you look at them, there's kind of wavy lines all over it. It looked like that.
Kind of looked like Miz was about to come through our TV and hang out with us.
Yeah, it was a Cronenberg type situation.
It was very weird, yeah.
Yes, very much so. It's like Videodrome.
Scanner, yeah. I was going to say scanners, but our heads didn't blow up.
No. So the first thing Miz asked
Miz
Daniel
just
Bryan,
starts laying into Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, he was kind of berating Daniel Bryan. I think it was a bit much. He asked Daniel Bryan, "Hey, why'd the Fiend choose to attack you?" I think. Do you think? Daniel Bryan offers no answer. So the Miz says, "I think the Fiend sees that Daniel Bryan is mentally unstable, no longer the leader of the Yes Movement. He doesn't know who he is." And Bryan says, "I'm quiet because Miz TV sucks."
Ouch.
But Miz, you're right. I'm not the leader of the Yes Movement anymore. Maybe I am washed up. Maybe I am mentally unstable. But I still got that passion right here. Miz tries to interrupt. Bryan just tells him to shut up.
Do you think that was scripted? Because, man, Miz's face looked like
No
he
way, man.
was supposed to get a word in.
No way, man. Daniel Bryan just told him, shut up. And then Daniel Bryan says, "You don't understand, Miz, because you don't have the passion. You don't understand that mental instability plus passion can make you do things like the things I've done, like kick AJ Styles in front air and become WWE champion, to destroy the Yes Movement, all these things."
That was good.
But Bray understands. He understands it
understands
because
it.
he's mentally unstable.
Yeah.
And he's passionate too. And he's about to go on. He's interrupted by Firefly Funhouse. Bray says, "You know, Daniel, it's rude to speak about another person when they're not present." And he says, maybe the Fiend attacked Daniel Bryan to scare him, or maybe to remind him of what he did.
Yeah.
So they're directly, more or less, referencing Daniel Bryan leaving the Wyatt family, 4 years ago?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. How much did they reference history between? I mean, there was never one. I mean, look, the Shield and the Wyatt family, they did have
A bit of a feud,
a bit of a feud. They didn't really deep dive into it.
No. Same with Finn. They didn't really dive that into much details as far as Bray and Finn's history.
Yeah. I wonder, I hope that Bray and Daniel Bryan both have a heavy say in how they go down this road. Because if it's simply, hey, look at this footage, remember when you did that? Explore what that meant. Why did that send Bray down this way? Like, he could even say, man, in cool Fiend-like ways, I was on the up. I was going up big. I had you, the most popular thing, under my thumb, and then you turned on me. You betrayed my trust, and here we are today, and this is the state of my mental state, and that's the state of California over there in yours. And
you're a part of this.
It'd be cool if they let them do like a deep, interesting dive into that.
Yeah, they got a week left though, man.
But it's gonna be look at that footage. You remember that? Now I'm gonna get back at you now, 4 years later.
They got a week left. They got a week.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, no, they're probably not. Anyways, Bray brings out the toy box, starts pulling up random stuff. There's like a doll from the House of Horrors match. There's some other stuff like a bike horn. And eventually he pulls out the Universal title. So this is my favorite toy. He says, "Daniel, you want to come play? All you have to do is say the one magical word." Of course, the crowd starts chanting yes. Daniel Bryan says no. And then all the puppets say yes. And in response to each yes, Daniel Bryan says no. And then Bryan says he's not going to play with Bray and his puppets. Bryan says he's not going to be Bray's puppet. And if Bray wants to fight, let's fight. But if we're going to do it, it's going to be for that Universal Championship. And Bray just says, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then he starts getting super orgasmic with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought they were going to end the show with like him doing yes for 3 minutes, but they just ended up ending the show 2 minutes short.
Yeah, they seem to have ended it 2 minutes short.
Yeah, it kind of petered out a little bit.
Yeah.
So that was how SmackDown ended. Bray Wyatt saying yes a lot.
I'm trying to see if anybody has the screenshots of this, but apparently WWE 2K's
Facebook was
hacked.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
And I'm trying. Whoa, Mandalorian episode 2's up.
Exciting news.
That's cool. I wonder if it's booked better than SmackDown.
I would.
Oh, here we go.
Hazard to say yes.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's not professional. Let's see here. Oh wow. Jeez. One post straight up just says WWE is fake. That's rude. And that's like the most innocent thing on here. Everything else is like really. Oh wow. Jeez.
Goodness.
Yeesh.
Anyway, Steven's answers with questions.
Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, let's get away from that.
Yeah. Inner Circle Bud Ryan, work done. Time to celebrate with a little hit of the bubbly.
The bubbly.
Hopefully I get so baked to forget about SmackDown.
Yeah.
Adrian C. Bray being excited for a blue belt makes no sense. Truth.
I I think Bray is sort of like, I don't know. You know, if they really wanted to get clever with it, he can just like, I would trust Bray to kayfabe Fox wanting the new blue title, you know? But it was just they wanted to get the title in there. They couldn't do anything creative with it because of Fox.
So poof.
So yeah, he did that.
Yeah. Raphael mentions the hack there. Sean Lathrop. Sorry if you two spoke on this already, but what are your thoughts on Scott Dawson's new Twitter image and Instagram post? It's the Young Bucks pose.
It's the Young Bucks pose.
They're gone. They're so out the door.
Yeah, we forgot to sort of mention that. They're totally out the door.
They're totally out the door.
They really are.
Completely and totally.
Because he posted something about, and this is, I don't think he'd like, he posted something about, unless they're just doing sort of the leverage thing. Because here's the thing. WWE may be so anxious. This is going to be very interesting. WWE might be so anxious to keep them from AEW that they'll give them whatever they want. And I'm not talking about money. He was complaining about not seeing his kids. They might give them a Randy Orton schedule. It is kind of surprising that, creatively speaking, they don't seem to be, for example, like the Revival and Orton. This is according to the rumor, dirt sheets, whatever.
They wanted to do the faction thing. Yeah.
They wanted to be a faction. And
Orton apparently pitched it to Vince himself.
yeah, like number one, who wouldn't want that faction? Number two, factions are cool. Number three, you get a cool logo, a T-shirt, and a name.
They had the name.
Yeah, FTRKO.
Yeah.
There's no downside to it. Zero. Maybe Vince was like, well, they're out the door, so that's not going to work. Maybe he just knows. But so it makes me think that WWE just resigned to them leaving.
Could be.
And they're like, well, we can't add any more time to the contract. Or maybe they'll figure it out. I was saying this during the stream. The Revival needs to make sure that all these matches they're having on the way out, if they're leaving, or at least if they're looking at leaving, they need to be mat wrestlers. They do not need to be risking their bodies, about to get injured, and add 3 more months, 6 more months, a year to their contract.
I know.
Because if one of them goes down, that means the other guy didn't they do that with Luke Harper because Rowan was out.
No, they didn't have time on Harper's contract because Rowan was out. They had time on Harper's contract because he went and got surgery on his wrist while his partner was out.
Oh yeah,
thinking he'd get it done.
Yeah,
while his partner was recuperating.
They're not going to do anything with me anyways. He's out, so I might as well do that.
And then they had time to his contract. Ridiculous.
Oh boy.
Go to the Patreon here. Jurgen Johnson & Johnson's. I thought the Daniel Bryan segment was so strong and passionate. Even my parents came into the room and were into it, and I just couldn't explain to them why a child theme was playing. I guess the Firefly Funhouse thing.
So,
do you think it's time to lose Firefly Funhouse?
No, not at all. I think it's great. Daniel Bryan really. It's funny because you get wrapped up in how crap SmackDown is. Daniel Bryan really is super special. Oh yeah, he's doing just amazing work that we really should not take for granted because it is absolutely terrific stuff. Mm-hmm. And that match, I think, hopefully they will. I know there's a week left, but hopefully this match won't be the only match they have, and they can continue on with some more cool stuff.
Exactly. Alex Foster, I'm the only one who loves how Miz and Bryan still hate each other no matter their alignment. What other wrestlers should love or hate each other no matter where they fall?
I like that. That's good. You're right about that.
Yes.
I always appreciated that no matter, even after Hogan turned heel, Heenan was still anti-Hogan. I always liked that.
Corey Graves and Elias.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's because the last couple times I saw Elias, Corey was on board with him.
I know.
He shouldn't be.
Never.
He shouldn't be.
Never. John Ingalls, do you think Bray will win clean over Daniel Bryan? Yes.
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
Yeah, I do. Wolfpack for life.
Yes.
Wrestling Observer himself reported that a possible dog collar match between Roman and Baron at TLC. What are your thoughts? If true, that's terrible. But, until Meltzer puts together a string of reliable...
Grain of salt, man.
A grain of salt.
Grain of salt. Just historically speaking, at least in recent years, most kind of dog collar matches, not been good.
Garbage. If that's true, that's horrible.
Horrible idea.
Let's see here. Yeah, it's Andrew Jocelyn says, what's Adam Cole's FPOS order at Smashburger?
Well, the double smash burger, of course.
Yeah.
Not the Brussels sprouts that I got, the tots.
Yeah.
And then a large shake.
How great would it be if at Survivor Series Team NXT they all have rib tape?
That'd be great.
It's just Team FPOS.
That'd be so good.
That'd be amazing. Because they all have to be selling the War Games match.
I know. Dakota Miley, do you think Fiend versus Bryan is just to get past Survivor Series? So after that, we get Bryan versus Nakamura.
You know, as soon as they thought about doing NXT with Survivor Series, they should have rescheduled War Games for like December.
I know.
You know, put it in between Survivor Series.
Because they're not doing
Rumble.
a takeover at Rumble.
That's right.
It's Worlds Collide.
Yeah. Yeah, they really should have done that.
I know. But they probably decided like a month ago.
Yeah.
After War Games is probably already scheduled.
Yeah, you're probably right. Everything last minute. Let me go to the Discord, see if anybody has anything to say over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see here. Butts asks, which is more the case? A bad segment dragging a good show down or a good segment elevating a bad show? I think we got concrete proof of that this week. I thought that Raw was actually pretty darn good were it not for the Lana Rusev stuff. This was a bad show, and even the Daniel Bryan segment couldn't really elevate it, even though Daniel Bryan really did some good work there.
Yeah. Yeah. If it's a bad show, it's hard for one segment to save it.
You need at least like 60% of a decent show for me to consider it like that, you know.
Agreed.
A decent show. So anyways, let's see here. Just double check, make sure there's nobody else yapping away.
No.
All right. Oh yeah, Punk and Cena. Here's the thing about Punk and Cena in terms of being two guys that inherently don't get along. I do appreciate that they had that picture where Punk or Cena, somebody lost a bet over a football game, I think, or a hockey game. I forget what it was. And I don't know, they just seem like they like each other.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
I think they do.
D Minor says Ciampa and Gargano. They're already buddy. Gargano wins that title. Ciampa's out there getting him a hug.
Mm-hmm.
They've patched things up.
Yeah. Roman and Corbin. There, the problem with this. Now they mention Roman. The problem is there isn't enough sucker punching. Remember how great it was whenever Roman would just go and sucker punch Corbin and laugh?
Yeah, it was great.
It was awesome.
Yeah, God forbid they give Roman some dimension and character and make him interesting.
Yeah. Oh, man. Anyways, Lady Fortune, I'll end on this question. What does AEW and NXT have that SmackDown needs to fix their 2-hour build?
Consistent quality wrestling throughout the show.
They have through lines for
their show, where there's stories being told
it's just
over the course.
It's just better storytelling.
Yeah,
it's just
is.
like
It
with Vince, it's momentary. It's moment to moment pops, and spiteful booking.
Yeah.
Oh, fans think this is crap. Let's do more of it.
Let's double down on it.
Whereas with NXT, it is let's listen to the audience. What are they interested in? What are they down on? What works? What doesn't work?
Mm-hmm.
You can tell, man. You can see every shot of Triple H sitting there. He looks like he is crafting music.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got HBK next to him. Mm-hmm. They're serious, man. They're serious dudes doing their job.
Yep, they take it seriously.
And that's why it's so good.
Yep.
And I feel the same exact thing at AEW. I think maybe the creative process might be different there because I think they give their wrestlers some more freedom.
Oh, a lot more, yeah.
And I think that's the key to what they do right.
Totally.
See,
AEW is like jazz. You have a theme, and everybody else can solo off that theme or play around the perimeters, the edge of that theme.
Yeah.
And I feel like NXT is more like very highly orchestrated classical music.
Mm-hmm.
It's intricate in a different way.
Yeah.
A lot of notes, a lot of stuff going on, but it's all very structured and very purposeful.
Yeah.
And barring a couple sections, it's all written in. You know what's going to do it for the duration of the whole thing.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you everybody for tuning in.
Yes.
We do appreciate it. Thanks everybody who joined us on the stream. Thanks to our sponsors today, Mack Weldon and Audible.
Yes, thank you.
And we have an Ask Steven Larson for the patrons and the YouTube channel members coming up a little bit later. We're not going to do that live. We're just going to do it while we're doing our stuff here.
Doing all this stuff here, yeah.
So thank you very much. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.